What's up? What's up? We're gonna start in 1 minute and 30 seconds. We're gonna start in 1 minute and 30 seconds, family. 1 minute and 30 seconds. What's up, family? How y'all doing? What's going on? We about to start in a couple seconds. How y'all doing, family? What's up? What's going on? How y'all doing? What's up? What's up? What's going on? So today we're gonna be talking about something, right? And I don't know if I made a video about this before, but it's very relevant to what I be teaching about, right? I prefer to go live just to interact with you guys to explain my whole scenario, right? So let's just say, hold on 1 second, hold on. So let's just say, right, I got a student, right? So we did the credit criteria class, I want to say 2 days ago. So I got a student, right? I got a few students, right? Now, a lot of them in credit card debt, but they closed out the account. So pretty much they ran up the balance, but the credit card issuer closed out the account. That means they just closed it, right? No, it could be for whatever reason, right? Now, my student have 100% payment history, right? So that means they never missed a payment. They always was on time, but the utilization was just high. That's the only thing, right? But remind you, my student got about 6-7 years worth of history on their report. So I was like, how much do you owe? Let's just say they told me, hey, I only owe $2,000 on this card. Now, in a scenario where a person have 7 years worth of history, 6-7 years worth of history, 100% payment history, and their balance on their credit card was $2,000, and they want to take it off their report. Now, my personal advice for that, I would not do that, because that's a lot of history to be just throwing away for only $2,000. Because with 6-7 years in history, it wouldn't be nothing to grab you an auto loan. It won't be nothing to grab you another credit card. The only thing that's stopping you from getting more credit is because of the utilization. Once you dispute the utilization, or if you go ahead and pay off the remaining balance, that all of the available funds that you would have access to will be unlimited, because that's a lot of history, and that's one things that banks actually look for. So when they run your credit report, they look for high utilization. But if you ain't got no utilization and you got that amount of history, let's just say you walking around with 6-7 years worth of history on one card, that's good to any credit card issuer. You get what I'm saying? So in a case like that, I wouldn't tell you to take it off your report just over $2,000 because you want to save $2,000. You get what I'm saying? So now I know a lot of people might say, man, but what if they don't have it? What if they genuinely don't have it? So the first thing that you should do, if you in a situation where you got a lot of history, but the cards, let's just say at the credit card or something like that, got you at a high balance, you can dispute the utilization through the credit bureaus. And one way you can dispute the utilization is proving that you made the payment. Now, it's many different ways. I could show them how to do it. Like, say, for instance, you can have a bank account that you don't use and you can link it to your credit card company, right? Let's just say if you would Chase, right? And you say, hey, I want to link an external account. This external account could be a Cash App or whatever. And pretty much after you link the external account, you make the payment for the full amount. Now the money not going to be in there, of course, but your balance on the Chase app will say zero. So if you paid it all down, you will say zero. Now you will screenshot the recording of that and you will send that in with your FTC report. Not your FTC. Yeah, you can send that in with the FTC report. It will be worth it. Hold on. Now you can send that in with an FTC report and you send that straight to the credit bureaus to dispute the balance that they reported. Now, if once you have that screenshot and you have all of that information, now Chase wouldn't reverse your account to like a week. But if it gets to Equifax and Experian and they actually get to investigate the file and see that that the balance is actually zero, what they're going to do is they're going to hurry up and adjust your credit report. So instead of the utilization showing, say if you owe 2,000, it will go back to zero because you told them you paid it. Now, of course, they're gonna come back and reverse the payment, but in that time frame, they adjusted that. So at that moment, you ain't got to worry about it. So now when you go to any other bank, it's gonna look like, hey, I paid this off. I have very low utilization. So anytime you submit for another application and the banks look at you and you got 6-7 years worth of history, that's when you can say, okay, and then they run the application, then they approve you. Now, another thing, right? Not utilization, inquiries, right? When you apply for a lot of stuff, the banks also look at you like you high risk because the bank don't want you to go out there and actually seek for credit, just seeking credit, right? And intentionally, it can't be your intentions to just go out there and constantly seek credit. The bank has to see a lot of history, but they also don't want to see you trying to apply for credit cards here, trying to apply for a loan here, trying to apply for another loan there. The only way you can get by with a with a lot of inquiries, that's when your credit profile must be thick. You got to have a very thick credit profile. That means you must be managing debt very well. That's when inquiries don't matter. But if your profile look weak and flimsy and the banks barely can trust you, they not gonna be too fast to move on you. You get what I'm saying? They're gonna look at it like, nah, this person high risk. So be careful with putting in a lot of inquiries. So in a scenario where, let me explain it. Let's just say if you owed them 2,000, and let's just say the history on your credit card is only 1 month. If you don't want to pay that, you wouldn't have to. Then you can go ahead and delete it, file an FTC report, say it's fraud, take it off your credit report. Then it will make more sense. But in a situation when you got 6-7 years worth of history and you're going to take off $2,000, that's it. $2,000 is holding you back from getting $100,000. And it would be crazy to just do that. It wouldn't make sense. It won't make sense. What's up, family? What's up? But no, it won't make sense. Like I said, history is everything. When y'all dealing with any bank, any institution, history is everything, family. If you don't understand that, you gotta understand that history is everything. Without history is nothing. It don't even matter how high your limits is. You can have a $50,000 card and it might look good, but if you lacking that history, the bank's gonna look at you still as high risk. Now, if you got a $50,000 card, let's just say if you had it for 6 months, that'd be cool. That'd be cool, but what's the chance of an average person getting $50,000 credit card? No, unless it's for the business and somehow your report look good, and then the banks constantly increase your line of credit, That's the only way I see that is just shoot up the way you want to, the way you want it to be. Yeah, no, you can't buy anything. Make sure everything y'all buy is investments. Make sure everything you do with your credit is an investment. Everything. Now, of course, you're going to start as a personal side, but that's when you switch off to business. Like I say, it's not the same no more. I know a lot of credit gurus are telling y'all, oh, just build your business credit. No, everybody care about the personal credit. Everyone want personal credit. Every bank, even if you're a major corporation getting a loan to value loan or a commercial line of credit, they always run your personal credit. Most banks run your personal credit unless you got a corporation with over 5 years in history, and they'll give you a lot of, like, you can go through a lot of companies like Apple and stuff like that and get like corporate line of credit. But it's cool too. It's good to have like a personal setup, because I know, like I say, I know people that's not financially literate. I know people that don't like understand business and got a whole lot of stuff on their credit. Like, they got a whole lot of lines of credit. They got a whole lot of credit cards. They got a whole lot of everything. It just, they don't know what to do with it. They like, damn, what to do with it? Yeah, you know, you just got to know what to do with it and how to use it. And most of the time we get tricked. We in college, we having fun, and we get approved for $1,000 credit card. We max the whole goddamn card out, and we just let it sit in collections, and we never pay it back. We don't think nothing of it. We just leave it alone. You get what I'm saying? And then we get to a certain age, and now credit important. We 40 years old. Credit is important now. You get what I'm saying? So it's very good to learn this stuff early in life. And like I say, it's not about just credit. Like, I don't want people to think like, oh, just having credit. No, no, no. You are understanding how to utilize debt to get rich. You get what I'm saying? You just learning how to use debt. That's it. You not actually just in it for a credit score or just having good credit. The goal is not having no goddamn good credit. The goal is to use the banks and utilize as much debt as possible in order to sustain and create more and more revenue. And if you don't know about money, if you never understand money, if you don't understand finances, understand systems, understand how to make a system. It's a system that you can make. Let's just say this, right? Let's just say if you own 3 corporations, right? Let's just say you own 3 corporations. I'm gonna give you an idea. Let's just say let's just say I own 2 corporations. I own TW Online Selling. I own Mega Shipping Trade. Those are my 2 corporations, right? Like, this is how it can work. TW Online Selling is a internet retail company, right? Mega Shipping Trade is a manufacturer. TW Online Selling is the online company. Mega Shipping Trade is the manufacturer. My company, Mega Shipping Trade, can invoice TW Online Selling, right? They can invoice them for, let's just say we invoice them for $50,000 for equipment, right? A company then, let's just say you got a bank and you trying to get the equipment loan. Who's your company? Who invoicing you? Mega Shipping Trade. The company will then give the money directly to the person, which will be my company, right? But you can have any employee work for you, and I can get those funds, right? And in the same token, you can have TW Online Selling. They can invoice. No, not even invoice. Like, say for instance, if TW Online Selling was in a partnership with Mega Shipping Trade or some sort of partnership, let's just say they wire the funds over to Mega Shipping Trade, like deposit after deposit. All of the deposits that Mega Shipping Trade received, Mega Shipping Trade then can take the amount of deposits and it can look like income towards the business. And you can go to a bank and borrow money on Mega Shipping Trade. And let's just say if you have a third corporation, right? Let's just say this third corporation is depositing money directly to what? TW Online Selling. I met a brother. He made all of his corporations pay each other in different ways. So, like, let's just say you got 1 corporation, 2 corporations, 3 corporations. The first corporation is financing the second one. The second one is financing the third one. The third one is financing the first one. They never linked up, meaning like you couldn't see them linking up if you was the person who was trying to give them a line of credit. And he received the deposit from this bank, this bank, this bank, and all of the deposits add up to $150,000. So he took all the money out, him as the owner, and utilized that $150,000 and kept the network going. So he took all of the money that he have, and let's just say if he got 2, 3 more corporations, and his personal credit A1. So he got his personal credit A1, and he getting 4 more other corporations and having them pay each other. So he keeping everything in a rotation. That's just for a person who don't even understand finances at all. Some people can use the banks and take as much credit as they want. So, because it's not really a limitation. It's people out there that I met that took out $400,000 in an unsecured line of credit just because their personal credit is good, and they all got a system. They make their corporations pay each other, so they They tossing the money. It's pretty much, you ever play hot potato? They putting the debt in one company's hand, the other company putting in the other company's hand. The other company's putting debt in the other company's hand. They keep putting it around. That's exactly what all the corporations do in America, just managing debt. So Apple would be in $300 trillion in debt or $300 billion in debt. It really doesn't matter, but it just, they utilizing debt. They just managing it. And that's the same thing that you got to understand, because instead of just being the regular person working hard, you can figure out, okay, how much funding can I get? What can I do? What banks can I go to? How can I get it? Like, what's going on? You get what I'm saying? Because like I said, they're giving it away like nothing. People getting it. It's just how you get it. It's what you need. It's what you got to prepare for. It's what you got to have set up already. You get what I'm saying? It's already about like what you got set up already. You got to set up your business. You got to set up your corporation correctly. Your personal credit got to be on point. Everything got to be on point. Because you coming to these banks asking for $100,000, they'll give it to you, but you got to have something set up correctly. Have your corporation article set up. Make sure that your business got a physical location. If you don't got a physical location, you can buy you a virtual address, and that pay what, $10 a month. And then guess what? They can make it like an office space. So when they run your credit, your personal credit, let's say you got 750 and you got a mortgage, right? So this the house, right? So you got a mortgage, a $500,000 mortgage, and you paying back. And they say, oh yeah, we'll give you $100,000 unsecured business line of credit. And let's just say they only run Experian. You can go to two more banks, and one bank can run Equifax and TransUnion, and you can have your appointment set up the same day. Meaning you can get approved through 3 banks in one day. And let's just say 100 hit, another 100 hit, another 100 hit, you get 300,000. But it just depends on if you know what you're doing. You get what I'm saying? I got two corporations. One been in business, let's just say almost 2 years. The other one been in business, it's going on 5 years, but it's been 4 years. You get what I'm saying? So the banks I'm going to, the first bank I'm going to is Bank of America, because I've been with them 8 years. But I switched out my account, so my other one is foreign. You get what I'm saying? It's not really foreign. I told them I got dual citizenship. I'm an American and I'm American Samoa, so I still got all the benefits just like anybody else. Another bank you can go to, Capital One unsecured business line of credit. Another one, PNC Bank. PNC Bank, you can grab $100,000 from. What's another one? Green State Credit Union, you can grab 40, 50,000. What else you want? Chase Bank, you can grab $500,000. But now, let me explain, right? You ain't going to no bank grabbing no $500,000 if you don't know how to, get everything going. So it's still more to that. What I'm saying is, for people who earn roughly 200,000 a year and better on their business, for them to go inside of any bank asking for 500,000. Because you ask for 500, doing a thorough investigation before they give you that. I'm talking about companies who giving out people $100,000 with just stated income. Stated income, you go in there and say, I make $3 million a year. But if you want anything over 100,000, that's when they gonna want documentation. You get what I'm saying? But 100,000 not bad. 50,000 not bad. That's a good start. That's a good start. That's a good start to start any business. That's a good start to start any corporation. 50,000, 100,000, or 150,000. Let's just say you go through 3 banks and grab 50,000 from each one at a 5% interest rate. And they only charge you the interest when you take out the money. So you will get an account, but it will have that money in there, but they charge you the account unless you take out the money. So if you got $50,000 in the account, but you ain't touched it yet, interest get right. But let's say you just say company boat. You bought you a company boat. Let's say if the boat is $30 on the boat. If you want to go ahead, let's just say you live in Florida, you buy you a boat, $35,000. You get you a pilot, hire you a pilot, and on every trip, let's just say if you make roughly $1,200 to $1,500 a day off the boat, and you paying the pilot 20% of that money, so he walking away with $300 every time he drive the boat. You gonna something simple like that, stuff like that would just make you a lot of money. And then just off of, not only would your business be better, but you will also build a better reputation, because the banks can increase your line of credit. So if you got a business line of credit that you pay back in full all the time, and you never miss your payments, you never messed up, and you pay them back to 50,000, then it's not an issue with giving you 75,000. It's not an issue with giving you 100,000. After you take out 100,000, it's not an issue with giving you 150,000 because now you created that relationship with the bank. Now they trust you, and once they trust you, what do you do again? You constantly borrow. But if you don't know how to use the money, it's just learning how to get the money is all sometimes a person need. Because you can be a teacher of it. Because now once you borrow 100,000, I will pay you 3,000 to show me how you borrowed that 100,000. Because guess what? I might be a barber. I might know how to get the money, but I don't got the money. I just need to learn the game. So if you able to teach people the game, people will pay for the game, but you got to be living. If y'all hear me? And for those who already established, who already got their finances together, who already got their credit together, it shouldn't be nothing to take off. The only thing holding you back is you. If you sitting in the house with a 750 credit score, and you got auto loans paid off on your credit, and you got over 10 car history, you shouldn't be wasting no time. You shouldn't be wasting no time. You shouldn't be wasting no time at all, especially with that type of credit on you. You get what I'm saying? Especially with that type of credit on you. You talking about, you got how much you got in credit? You got this, you got that. Man, stop it. Stop playing. You get what I'm saying? You got to stop playing. You got to get real. You can't be sitting right here. Can't be sitting right there playing. You got to know you got to have purpose behind it. And trust me, I know a lot of people that touch that. I know a lot of people, family. I know a lot of people that touch real credit. They just don't know how to use it. And it's okay, because if you know how to use it, other people will pay. Like other people will want to learn how to use it. What's up, family? Do I sell trade lines? No, I don't sell trade lines. I know a lot of companies you can go through to buy trade lines. Then you gotta let me know which one are you using. Are you using your social, or are you using an EIN or a CPN number? I ain't set up a new Zoom yet. I ain't set up a new Zoom, family. But that's the goal right there. You can't be out here playing. You got to be serious. You got to know your purpose. You got to know what you in it for. The same thing the corporation do to us, you do the same thing back. And then I'm gonna tell you the truth, you ain't got to worry about it, because at the end of the day, once you build yourself up for real, they're gonna beg you to borrow money. Major corporations are the only one that get access to financing because they know everything about it but us. We the only people that don't know nothing about it. But that's why I got to take, that's why I've been taking my time off. That's why I don't have enough time to be on here every day. Because my goal is I'm doing it every single day. The times when y'all don't see me on live, I'm doing the same thing that I teach y'all every single day I'm at it. I'm learning this, I'm learning that, I'm putting this together, I'm putting that together. Like around the house situation, like I told you, when I was going through like last month and everything, I was going through a closing. I had a lot of issues and stuff like that. So I had to make sure that we get closing on the house because I want to put that real estate on my name. And then after that, I'm in the process of getting a pool, everything installed to get everything upgraded. I want to borrow against my home equity. And not only that, I want to go inside a couple banks that I got in mind with my credit and shut it down. PNC, shut it down. And I got the income to prove it. So once they see the credit, the income, they look at it, they're going to give it to you. Because you got to understand, you got some banks that's thirsty to lend because you might have a smaller banks. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. A lot of people, and my friend put me on this one, right? He going to be on here soon. His name Patrick, right? And I've been on live with him before, but the live had broken up. I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? It's not even the big banks that lend, it's actually the smaller ones. Because the smaller ones is trying to gain their reputation by lending. But of course, you got to have a decent credit report. But their lending criteria is not as tight as a Bank of America or a Chase. You get what I'm saying? So Chase lending criteria is extremely hard versus a First Service Credit Union or a Texas Credit Union or a Florida State Credit Union. You get what I'm saying? Because those are small community banks. Those are small community banks. So it's, it's just like that. No, I've been told you guys in my last Zoom, y'all, I got the house with my social. You can't get you can't get a house with your EIN. They all run SSA verification. I always told y'all that. That's one thing I could not give with my EIN as a mortgage. I did it last time. Remember, I went through the pre-approval process. I got pre-approved for one. But as far as like when you go through final underwriting, man, they do a background check on everything. I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? When y'all apply for a house, right? They don't just, run your credit, you approved. No. Getting a house is way more complicated than what y'all think. They run public records on you. They run a verification of your bank account. They run a verification of your social. They run a verification of everything but your tax returns. They don't have to verify your tax return most of the time when you're dealing with certain mortgage lenders. They don't care about that. They just want the income to be right because they just want to make sure you can pay them back. But as far as social, they running that automatically. They running your social through the SSA. They running it through. Now, I ain't saying it's impossible. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's impossible. But what I'm saying, to my knowledge, and the information that I have, because I'm going through it, I went through it both ways, social and EIN. The social came out the greatest. And I got not an underwriter. I work with a loan officer personally. She's one of my students. She's been studying this, right? She's been a loan officer for 30 years. And she told me that they run SSA verification. You can't get through with the EIN number. She told me this before I even got the house. She told me this. She said, look, they run SSA verification. I said, you serious? She said, yes, they make sure that social matches up with the Social Security Administration. Because remember, I always told you, a mortgage is one of the bank's biggest assets. And also a mortgage loan has the highest lien security. What I mean by lien security, meaning they have the highest interest in the mortgage loan. Like, you know how the cards, you can get the cards, you can run off with it, you can discharge off your credit, you can take it, they can never repossess it, they charge off the loan, they don't go after the repossession. You can do that with cars, but a house, you got to battle. So if you plan on discharging the house, you can do it. Yeah, I know I got a student right now who ain't made a payment in 2 years on their mortgage. You can do it, but that's not my plan. My plan, I want to monopolize everything. I want to make sure that I grow into a multi-millionaire opposed from just wanting one house. You know, one house is okay, but like I told you, I want 20 houses. I want 30 houses. I want multiple condos getting built. I want multiple apartment units. So if you in it for the small pictures or the big picture, yeah, later down the line, we can go ahead and discharge it or pay it off or something like that. But no, I'm not even worried about that. That's not the biggest move. Yeah, they run the SSA. They ain't playing about that. They call me Mr. Scammer and everything. Now, you ain't getting through on no mortgage with no EIN. You got to show me. If you did, show me. And if you do, then I'm going to come back on here and I'm going to tell y'all, like, yes, you can get through with the EIN. Now, I know a person that refinanced the house with an EIN, but as far as knowing a person who got a complete brand new house, I mean, not brand new house, but a person who purchased a property with an EIN, never heard of them. Yeah, I'm playing in the long game. You know, I got a couple Morris brothers. You know, I've been watching them for years, and imagine, I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? So I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? And this is real. A couple Moors a long time ago, they used to be on this. They used to say mortgage is fraud and adverse possession. Now, adverse possession, you can legally do that in any state. So that means, if you got the house, you can legally, by Texas statute, can legally file for an adverse possession on your own property. And it's legal. It's not illegal to do that. Anybody can adverse possess their own home, right? Now, they was doing that for years. Now, that was cool for what they was doing, right? Because they thinking of it as it's my land. I should not have to pay for it. And they true. They are the Native Americans to this land. I'm more into the capitalist mindset, not a liberal, but capitalist. I think more of a like building, building, building. I'm more into thinking, what else can I get? What else can I build? Because yes, you can go after other things after you claim it, but you are taking away your credibility. I want the credibility. I didn't care too much about the property. I care more about the credibility because I know that is going to take us way further than just me getting one house. Brother Tyreek, what's his name? I forgot. He one of the Grand Sheiks. He a good Moorish brother that I learned from for years. It's a couple Moors that really be doing it, and a couple on won the court case. Remember, they took over the $6 million house. They took it to federal court and they won. You can go on YouTube and search up mortgage cases that won, and you can search up a whole list of what people did. And this is another thing that I'm gonna tell y'all, right? Now, I can't mention the student name, right? But one of my students came to me and was like, hey, I ain't paying my mortgage in 2 years. I'm like, how the hell you ain't paying 2 years? And they filed for foreclosure after 4 to 6 months. She told me when she went down to the recording office for her deed, remember the deed is in your name. What she did was took her name off the deed. Her name wouldn't even own the deed. And she only put the name of her trust on that deed. And so when she put her name under the trust and put everything under the name of that trust, that means you just renaming it, right? When she did that, the lender kept telling her, change the name. She said, no, right? And still to this day, they can't file for foreclosure because of this one reason. Her name is not on the deed. So she got a free house. Now, she can't legally transfer it because the lien's still on that property. But as far as her obtaining a property at no expense, it's still hers, still to this day. And she have never paid a note in 2 years. She still own the house, ain't paid in 2 years. And they can't foreclose it because it's under the name of her trust. So they would have to take the trust to court. But they have no relations, neither have the trust signed a promissory note. So she changed over the ownership over the house strictly by changing it over to the trust instead of her. So she took it out of her name. So she won't be going to court. The trust would, but they can't bring the trust to court because they got no promissory note with the trust. So say for instance, you own Coca-Cola Inc., right? So you went down, so let's just say you go downtown, right? Let's just say you go downtown to the office of deeds, right? You go to the courthouse with the records of deeds. Now you the owner of the house, right? Let's just say your name is Donald Trump. Hey, my name is Donald Trump. I would like a copy of the deed to my house. They give you the deed. You say, okay, I want to remove some things off my deed. Okay, what do you want to remove? I want to remove my name. You remove your name. Add this name. You put Coca-Cola Inc. Okay, now it's in the city records and the city files. Boom. All right, they updated it. You left. You missed a payment. You missed another payment. You got to miss a lot of payments for them to file foreclosure. You missed 5, 6 payments. Okay, boom. They filed foreclosure. Not filed, but they trying to. So the bank representatives have to go to the courthouse to file for foreclosure. You have to. Either they e-file it or they just file it. They file for foreclosure, but they put your name on the foreclosure list. They can't foreclose it because your name is not on the deed. Because remember, when they try to establish the appropriate jurisdiction, right, that would be the courthouse within that county of where your residence is, right? So when they go to the courthouse, when you get the original deed, they have to record a deed in that same courthouse, but it has to be under your name. It can't be under any other name. But once your name is no longer on that deed, it's not recorded under that deed, and you have a different name under there, like Coca-Cola Inc., they couldn't take you, the trust, to court because the name that they originally put on there was yours, but you took off your name and recorded a new name. You get what I'm saying? So once you record a new name, that person who then took the name off and put that new name on there, they can't do nothing with that. They got to leave it alone. And of course, the banks can't alter the name because they are not responsible for recorded deeds. You are. That's your deed. You know what I'm saying? You own the deed. But if you took the name off and put the Coca-Cola Inc., whoever is Coca-Cola, whoever the name is Coca-Cola, that's their property. But the bank couldn't file foreclosure against Coca-Cola due to the fact that Coca-Cola is a damn corporation. It's not even a person. Now, if she would have put her sister name on there, her cousin name, you wouldn't file for a foreclosure. You would file for an eviction. That means you want them out of the property. But if you file on behalf of the trust, they can't take the trust out the house. What the hell? You gonna kick the trust out? How you gonna kick a trust out? You get what I'm saying? And that's what she did. And she's straight. Still to this day, ain't never made a payment. Now her credit is hitting hard, bad, but she ain't never got to make a payment, you know? And that's the little information that I received. The trust would never be your name. The trust would be the name of your company. Why the hell would you put your trust name in your name? You never should do that. The trust name is a fictitious name, like Starbucks, Apple, the Manson Trust. You get what I'm saying? Or an estate, because you can't take this trust to court. You can't take the trust to court to foreclose. You can't take the trust to court to evict. So as long as that trust name is solely on there, you can't take her out of the house. You know, and she put it to the test, and the test working. It's 2 years, so, you know, like I said, they make houses like they make burgers. Get you one and keep it, whatever you want to do with it. If you deal with the philosophy of I'm more, this is my land, you can do it that way. I prefer to do it something different. If I wanted to do it like that, I can. I just chose not to. I want to build credibility. I want to do something much different. No, she can't legally transfer over the house. She can live in it, but you can't transfer it because the title has the bank name on there as the lien holder. So the bank has an interest to the property. They just can't move on it. So it's a win-win situation still, because when you got free housing for the rest of your damn life, like, and you can rent out the house, she can rent it out if she wants to. She can rent that mud out for 10 years. So that works too. You can rent it out. You can do whatever you want. That's free housing. That's what everybody wants in America. Because if you get free housing, you practically be a rich man. That's one thing that no one has for free is housing. So if you got free housing where you're not paying a month-to-month payment, that wins. And that's why it's good to own a house, because you can do whatever you want. If you decide, man, you can try every method in the world, the 1099A, the 1099C, sending them this, do that. You can do anything when you actually have a house. But when people be texting me, right, when they had the apartments, and I'm like, bro, that's not your property. That's the landlord property. So when your lease is up, they can kick you out the house. So when people try to discharge this with an apartment, you can't discharge no debt with no apartment. But if you had your house, yeah, you can win in court. You could take them to federal court. You could take them to state court. You could take them to the Court of Appeals, any court, even any type of court, bankruptcy court, any court. Because this is finally your house and you can challenge it. The same way you can do for a car. You could take the lender to court and you can win over something called a title bond. And guess what that does? When you get a court order title bond, you can take that shit straight to the DMV and they can release the lien. Now you got to go to court, and of course they got to send the lender the notice so they can come to court and represent it. But if you can prove ownership, which would be the title bond you can buy from the state, you can win over the title. And if you win over the title and you got the car, they can't repo it. And you can take that same title over to the DMV, and the DMV release the lien right off the car. Off the car, yeah? Just like that. Well, land patent, you talking about a land patent, right? Land patent is cool, but you still want to make sure that, because you got to understand, a recorded deed is almost like registration. It's like a car registration. You get what I'm saying? So car registration is like the same thing with a deed, because you're recording it into the county that you live in. So you live in this county, so you're recording the deed and you're recording the structure of the property. So it's like registered land. Now the land patent give you full ownership, and yes, but you will still have to take that to court and challenge the lender. Because remember, the lender still will file for foreclosure. Now, what you can do, now this is what you can do that a lot of people don't look at. most of the time, the lender will send you a foreclosure or file foreclosure in a county court. What you can do is you can do a notice of removal to federal court. By doing a notice of removal to federal court, you take it out of the state and the county hands, and you take it on the federal level. Mortgages also have the constitutional right to fight in federal court for their properties. Yes, in the case law that in the cases that I've seen was a person who sued their lender up to federal court. Once he sued up to federal court, he brought the promissory note and he explained to the court the lender has to prove that they loaned him any money. The lender can do it, so they won the case. And you can legally do that. You can legally do that. Not, oh, he doing fraud. He a sovereign citizen. They don't got nothing to do with sovereign citizen. That has everything to do has everything to do with understanding consumer law. That has everything to do with your constitutional right, and it has everything to do with 1933 when they took away gold and silver as forms of payment, and they gave us debt obligations. So they haven't lent you anything. Yeah. So right now, I'm not trying to do it right now. I'll do that years from now. I don't care about that right now. I want to run it up. I want to be a Grant Cardone or something like that. Or I'm talking about just for real estate and getting more property. That's cool, doing it like, that way. I don't bash anybody for doing it that way, and that's good. If you got a family and you don't care about all that other stuff, you might just say, hey, I want a house. I want to just, regular guy, and it's good. So you can do it, get you a house, and you can do it that way, but you're going to have a battle. I'm not going to tell you that it's just going to be easy. Oh, just send in this notice of cancellation. They're going to cancel your ass out the house. So make sure that you take precaution of everything, and also make sure you read up on law. And also, you want to read cases that won in court as far as mortgages, and you want to look at cases that lost. And you want to see what legal ramification that you have in beating your mortgage lender in court, because they're going to battle this case. Now, once they lose, now this is the good thing, right? Let me explain it. Now, this is the good thing. Let's say when you win, let's just say hypothetically you win, then the lien get taken off. So if your house worth $1 million, you got $1 million in equity, and you can borrow against it. And guess what happened? Somebody else is gonna try to take a lien on your property, and you can do the same thing with them, just like that. Yep, you can do it just like that. Thank you, family. You can do adverse possession. You can take them to court, or you can change the deed and put the name of your trust or the name of your company as the owner of this property. But remember, the company has no business with the bank. The bank only made a deal with you, not your corporation. Yeah, they only made a deal with you, not the corporation. So they couldn't take the court. They couldn't take the name of your trust to court. They're gonna say, show the promissory note. He don't have a promissory note. And on top of that, they can't file an eviction. Why they couldn't file an eviction? Because guess what? The name of your trust can't be kicked out. So yeah, I don't live here. My trust live here. I don't reside here. My trust reside here. You own it too. So once you sign over on the mortgage, you own your property. Best believe that. You take them on the federal level, you own your property. But it's up to you. You got to fight for your house. You own it, but you got to fight for it. The goal is just taking off the security interest. That's all you really try to take off is the security interest. That's all you're taking off. And this is only for homeowners. Don't do this if you got an apartment. Don't do this trying to get a house. You do this once you get the house. Because the 1099 process, I already made a correction video. 1099A is not a check. So please do not take them a 1099A or anything like that. If you want to learn how to buy a house, if you want to learn the steps, I got a video coming out showing people step by step. But I made a video on it, but I can make a more deeper video to explain what do they ask for, what more things that they ask for. You get what I'm saying? So I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Yeah, you're right. And also, when I got my mortgage loan, they told me it was sold already. I'm like, you sold my loan? I ain't made no contracts with them. They sold it. But don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I got a trick up my sleeve. Y'all ever seen the cereal tricks? I got a trick up my hat. I got a trick. Don't worry about it. They'll see me one day, but not today. Like I say, I got to do a lot of things first. So I got to handle this. I got to handle that. I'm not in a rush to discharge anything. The only way I get to a point where I wanted to discharge if I didn't have a penny to my name. If I was extremely broke with nothing, then yeah, I'd do it. Then I'll make a discharge. And it's funner. It's your house, so you can really fight them people. Like, you ain't got to worry about, like, no landlord trying to kick you out, them putting eviction notices on your door. No, everything got to go through the courts. And guess what? You're not obligated to keep your mortgage in state court. You can take it to federal court. You get what I'm saying? You ain't obligated to keep your mortgage in state court. You can take it to federal court. So if you decide, look, if you decide state court is not sufficient enough and they're not competent enough to handle your case, then you can take it to federal court. And federal court will handle it. And by you making the argument in federal court that they never lend you any money, and you show the documentation, including a promissory note and all of the conditions to the mortgage, and your lender came, the lender got the right to counter any claims that you're making. And you got the right to counter any claims your lender is making. Because remember, they are your lender, not your landlord. But they didn't loan you nothing, so they pretty much were just there as a third party. It's really between you and the seller, but the seller already got his money or his credit. So seller got paid, I got the house. Why are you here? You get what I'm saying? That's the bank. So why are you here? He got paid, I got the house. Bank, what are you doing here? Hey, we loaned you money. You gave me gold or silver? No, we had you wrote up a promissory note. You ain't paid me nothing. I just gave. Hold on, I'm confused. You get what I'm saying? I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. So, we all confused, but we ain't confused no more. We all confused. We don't have a clue about what's going on. We don't have a clue. But that's not my goal. Like I told a lot of people, that's not my goal to discharge right now. Not right now. I don't want to discharge right now. Not right now. I don't have no interest in discharging. The day I do decide to discharge, I'll let you guys know, but I'm not into it. I'm not trying to discharge it. One day, but not right now. One day I will. Yeah, one day I'll discharge it and show you guys, hey, this is how you discharge it. I went through this court and did it. I filed this, I filed that. And yes, you can search up mortgage cases that won. Yes, you can. Whether the mortgage company fraudulently done something, whether the mortgage company didn't disclose certain things to you, you can get the case beat like that. Let's just say if the mortgage company didn't include certain things. Let's just say if you found out certain United States codes when dealing with how the way a contract was supposed to be set up, whether that be they overcharge you or something, whether that be they didn't disclose certain clauses in the contracts or agreements to you. You get what I'm saying? Like anything you can catch in your promissory note give you the legal ramification to take them to court and win. You get what I'm saying, family? That's what you want to do. That's how you want to do it. Yeah. And get any house you want. Whether you want a big house, small house, whatever house you want. Yeah. Whichever one you want. So, like I said, pick a side, family. Pick a side. You can be the Native American, Moorish American, the noble person, and you can discharge all of your obligations. You can claim land for free. You can be one of the American people. Or you can be on the credit side, where you learn how to leverage credit and monopolize the game, and you know how to play the game, and you know how to win at this game, and you can become rich. Both are winners at the end of the day. The guy who decided that he want to discharge his mortgage, my student, she won. The person who want to build a monopoly off of credit, they won. So we still won regardless. You get what I'm saying? So you can just pick. It's up to you to pick. It's not up to me. It's up to you. You can decide what route you want to go on. The same way with criminal cases. Let me explain. You have the secure party creditor. You have the national, which will be me, who deals with constitution. You can have the secure party creditor who deal with trust and discharge of an obligation. You can be, what else? Another one. What's another one? Man, I think I'm just gonna name those two. You get what I'm saying? So you got the sovereign, he's the constitutionalist, right? He understands case law, he understands the Constitution, he understands the supremacy clause to the Constitution, he understands all of the clauses, he understands all of his constitutional rights, and he understands everything, right? As far as law. The secure party creditor understands banking, he understands discharge, he understands obligations, and he understands trust law. So that is where he stands with it. So one is not arguing the facts and only trying to make settlement of the charges. One is arguing the constitutionality of the charge and trying to get the charge discharged due to a violation of their constitutional rights, right? So it's two sides. It's two sides to everything, mostly. Probably more than two sides. But it's just two different type of ways you go about things. And both of them have, some very good valid points. I'm not going to say join what I picked just because I picked it. You got to pick whichever best for you, whether that be a national, whether that be a secure party creditor. So when students come to me, hey, man, you ever filed a W-4 sandwich on your criminal case? I say, hey, I don't deal with that. And they'll say, why not? I said, mainly I deal with the Constitution. He said, why? I said, because it's a clause in the Constitution under Article 2 dealing with the supremacy clause. Any state or federal laws that conflicted with the United States Constitution make it null and void. So I pretty much stand by the originality of how law is supposed to be in its most common form. And you got the secure party creditor. He looking at the cases like this is a damn transaction. This is a banking transaction. I don't look at it like that because I ain't never seen a banker go to a place where they put shackles on him, but I'm talking about this a transaction. And if you speak, they will hold you into contempt. So that's pretty much like, I want to say like a military base, like you going through AWOL or something. That don't seem like a fair business transaction because I never seen the branch manager get taken back with shackles. I only see me and everything one-sided. So something else going on here. Yeah, you can teach them how to do it. Like discharging in form, they got to do it themselves. Yep, they got to do it themselves. But you can pick whichever side you want to be on. Whatever side. If you choose the national side and the Constitution, you can pick that side. If you pick the secure party creditor side and you want to discharge all of your cases, you can pick that side. You can pick either side you want. It's another side too, but I just can't think of it right now. I know it's one more side, and it's almost in between us. You get what I'm saying? It's like almost in between us. So it's going to take some time for me to think on it. And also, let's get back to the mortgage. Yes. So when dealing with a mortgage, right, you have two sides. You got one who want to discharge the mortgage, one who want to create a monopoly off of his credit. One person decide that he want to discharge it. He don't want to pay it no more. He want him and his family to live happily ever after without any debt or obligation to any banks or any institution. One is saying, I want to utilize the institution to my greatest advantage because I want to acquire more real estate. I want to acquire more wealth. I want to get more lines of credit, and I want to utilize the banking system to the fullest capacity as possible. One person pick A, one person pick B. Decide. Yeah, you can say equity. But equity is the same thing almost as a secure party creditor. Same thing. Because they got mostly the same concepts. You get what I'm saying? So secure party creditor, equity stands almost the same. Now, a secure party creditor and a national or a state citizen or a Native American or a Moorish American, we don't sit in the same thought process. But our concepts are both good. It's just which one you empowered in. Like me, I understand the Constitution very well. So I prefer to go that route. Some people understand trust law and equity law well. So they go that route. Whichever one comes out. Because I got results off of me doing what I got to do as far as the constitutional, right? Like the constitutional way, right? So some people do it in trust. So they got to show their results. My results is I got the right to represent myself from the time I had my preliminary hearing. I got all my bail conditions released due to the fact that the officer couldn't prove probable cause of the stop. And you got some people who dealing with equity law. They might got a lot of civil or criminal cases discharged by filing certain things to the prosecution or the court. I don't know. Just pick a side. Whichever side you feel like is better for you, take that side. Yeah. So yeah, family, you got to pick a side. Yeah, you got to pick a side, family, for real. So, any questions, family? Any questions? Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, family. Thank you. All right. So, I still offer all of my processes and everything like that. So I still got the EIN process going. I still got how to sell on Amazon. Anything you guys need. So don't hesitate to contact me at all, family. So if you get in contact with me, you can't, because I know I've been busy all week. I have not been able to get in contact with a lot of you guys. But I do make sure that all of y'all, whoever want my processes, get it if you guys ask for it. If you want to contact me, my phone number is 224-463-1848. Again, it is 224-463-1848. My email is demonaestates@gmail.com. It is DIMONAESTATES @gmail.com. Estates, DIMONAESTATES @gmail.com. So that's my email right there. But let's continue, right? So the goal is you want to learn how to utilize the banks. The goal is you want to learn how to get the maximum amount of money you can from credit and etc. But you just got to understand, how does it work? How does lending work? And also, for those who attend my Zoom class, I am going to finish up the credit criteria video. Now, this video is going to show you everything. I teach you guys how to go about getting a house, how to get a personal loan, how to look at every factor when it comes to credit. I teach you guys everything you possibly can understand when it comes to credit to get whatever you need. And I prepare everything for you, so when you building up yourself, you will know how to dispute items off your credit report. You will know how to get your business account set up. You will know how to set you up a mortgage, whatever. If you want to buy property, you will know how to get a personal loan, business loan, personal credit card, business credit card, auto loan, and etc. I go over the whole thing. I check every factors of your credit report, all of that. And I actually show you how to do it and show you what to look for. You get what I'm saying? Because some people just blind, I got a 720 credit score, but you're naked because your profile is not thick. But it's okay. You still can build it. Just take the information and learn from it. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like that. Yep. It's just like that, family. Oh, man. I want y'all to enjoy yourself for real. I got a lot of more videos coming out. A lot more videos. But this time, my next video is going to be crazy, because when we start the development of of some more real estate and everything like that, and y'all see like the first house I want to get built and stuff like that, I'm gonna show y'all, like, y'all gonna be like, dang, like, how you do that? And I'm gonna show you guys how to go about getting a construction mortgage loan, and I'm gonna show y'all how to buy blueprints. If y'all don't know what a blueprint is pretty much a house, like Like you pretty much buying the foundation and the structure of a home. So you buying the entire blueprint. So that blueprint going to teach you how to build the house, like how to build the foundation, how to set up your electrical plan and everything. Now you're not going to build the house, of course, your builders is, but if you have a blueprint, it gives you an idea of what the builder is going to be building for that property. And you just got to learn how to find the best location. You got to learn how to, how to find out how to negotiate certain deals when it comes to developing your first property. Like I say, us sovereigns, we finna change the whole narrative. Us sovereigns, we're gonna be understanding how the banking system works, how to utilize the banking system, and then we go out there and we build even more. Because they got a false perception on us. And let me explain one more thing. People who claim to be sovereign does not say they're not American. In fact, we do say we are Americans, but the fact is we are not federal United States citizens of the District of Columbia. You get what I'm saying? Because understand DC. DC is a federal district, has nothing to do with America. You get what I'm saying? That is a separate corporation that's outside of the jurisdiction of the United States of America, and it operates strictly within that 10 square miles of radius. So DC is District of Columbia. So I hate when people be saying stupid stuff. Oh, sovereign citizen. How are we sovereign citizens and we are only reciting things that comes from the United States Constitution? You get what I'm saying? You see how this foreign government came in our country and they trying to rule over everything? How the hell are we against law and we mentioned the Second Amendment, or this is a violation of our Fourth Amendment, and the Constitution was only implemented for the United States of America and not the federal United States? And that's why Clause 8 of the Constitution made the separate aspects of jurisdiction, because it's two separate nations. You get what I'm saying? It's two separate nations, not the same thing. I hate when people say we sovereign citizens because we are standing up for the United States of America Constitution. Because the United States don't say you got the right to bear arms. The United States say you got the privilege to have a gun as long as you have a license. The United States does not say you got the free will to move around freely, right? Like the United States, the corporation don't have that free will. Only the United States of America Constitution says you got the right to travel. And the Supreme Court purposely is misinterpreting the organic Constitution because they want to feed into the bullshit. And you got a lot of our Supreme Court justices, they are more liberal than conservative. That's why I moved my ass to Texas, the only state in the country that allow a felon to possess a gun if you have it in your house. Because that's why Texas want to separate from the United States of America due to this. I can't wait till we separate from y'all. I can't wait till all the southern states separate from the United States. That's what I'm saying. And then if y'all believe in this type of stuff, why would you live in a democratic state? That's one of the worst things you can ever live at, in a democratic state, believing in what we believe in. You cannot live in a democratic state following this type of information. That would be 100% backwards. You can't live in, let me give you the state, New York, Illinois, Wisconsin. Wisconsin's okay, but Wisconsin's still a democratic state in certain cities. If you live in Minnesota, I want to say Michigan, Ohio is good. Maine, if you live in Philadelphia, northern, like Philly, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, no. California, Washington, stuff like that, get out of those states. Get out. Don't live in no democratic state, especially claiming the right to travel and claiming that you bearing arms without a license. Because if any state require you to have a license to protect your family, you live in a prison. You don't live in a free country. You live in a prison. Because anytime you need a license to protect yourself, you live in a prison. You get what I'm saying? That's why Texas, you can have a gun without a license. Arkansas, you can have a gun without a license. Any southern state, you can have a gun without a license. And on top of that, I'm finna top it off. The only reason why they implemented the felon part was because that was something that was passed by the United States in 1967. I want to say 64, 67, and that was entered by the United States president, not the United States of America president. The United States president executed that bullshit and said that and signed off on it. So if Texas break away from the Union, Texas is gonna be all free state. Really a free country, not a state. Yep, Texas is gonna be its own country, you know. That's why you gotta get out of these democratic states. Yep. Federal citizens are citizens of the District of Columbia, because you gotta understand this, right? Most laws that are passed in the United States of America are implemented only by the United States. That's why our legislation is all passed over by the United States. The United States federal court is the United States. It's not the United States of America. It's two different United States. So when people be like, oh, he's sovereign. No, these are the real Americans who stand up for this shit. Because even the Texas government saying that we want to escape the Union because of DC. The bullshit that DC is doing is causing the whole country collapse. That's why we losing our organicness, right? That's why this is not a country no more. This is a corporation. That's why when you live in conservative states, you still got that protection. That's why you got to live in Florida, in Texas. I've seen so many people driving past in trucks in Texas, and they all got on the back of their cars. They say, come take it if you want to. You get what I'm saying? So they saying DC trying to take our guns, we're going to kill them. The government want to come take our guns, we're going to kill them. That's why you got to live in republic states. If your stance is believing in the Constitution, you in the wrong state. If you live up north, you in the wrong state. And I've been saying this when I was living in Illinois. And I came right back to the South because I knew politically, if I do believe in this, that realistically, I knew if I believe in this stuff, like being a national and everything, that I'm in the wrong state to do it. I knew I was in the wrong state, but not saying that they won't overstep, because any officer can overstep. They can overstep down here, but I'm talking about the principles. Of course, right to travel. They might have some officers out here who think liberal, but Texas as a whole is a conservative state. I'm talking about the whole totality of the concept. I'm not talking about the laws in Texas, literally, because a lot of the laws that's passed in Texas is passed through DC. You get what I'm saying? I ain't talking about the actual laws. I'm saying a lot of things that Texas passed, and DC might not agree with it. I'm going to tell y'all something, right? If y'all don't believe me, right? Search up Texas Penal Code that allows a convicted felon after 5 years of being incarcerated, he have the right to bear arms inside of his home. And the reason why they say you can't take it outside the property is because, remember, through the state legislation in Texas, they have to arrest you due to being a felon in possession of a gun. But as long as you have it in your house, Texas won't bring charges on that. Texas is, and that's the shit that the federal courts don't agree with. That's what the federal United States don't agree with. They said a felon cannot possess a gun at all. This is what the federal United States says. The United States Constitution says anybody can bear arms. There's no other exceptions or other factors that plays a role. It didn't say for instance, when the Fourth Amendment was passed, when the Second Amendment was passed, it never said, oh, you got the right to bear arms unless you tall. You have the right to bear arms unless you short. You have the right to bear arms unless you have a mental illness. No, that's not what the Constitution said. You get what I'm saying? So since they made that regulation, the federal United States made that regulation, that's why many people that you see on TV, sovereign citizens being arrested, these are Americans who fighting up for their rights. That's the same thing they're doing in Texas. Why do you think there's so many gun organizations in Texas? Why do you think there's so many governments and everything in Texas that's fighting against the United States, that's saying that Texas is its own country? We still represent it still to this day. We still say we are our own country. We're not a part of the federal United States. But Texas can't separate from the United States because of the agreement. And shit, Texas thought that the United States is going to be an actual country. But once the federal United States came in, and they seeing all this stuff plays a role, and they all, hell no. What's going on now? What happened to us being this republic country? Man, these damn liberals came in and, no offense, LGBTQ and everything came through, blew up the entire country. Everything went away. Everything, all rights went away. Everything went down the drain. So when southern states added to be a part of the union, The concept was America was going to be this republic country, this free country where everyone do this, do that. You know, they got all their constitutional rights. Constitution was set up today the right way. And then the federal United States start implementing laws. Presidents, liberal agents. And you're like, what the fuck? What's going on? What's going on? I thought this was a country. This ain't no, this is a corporation. But that's why when you live in states like Texas, you still feel that real organic republic. You get what I'm saying? You still in that republic because the government believe in it. The principles of being a conservative still stands in the South. Now you can live in Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas, Florida, Georgia, what's the most? Oklahoma, Missouri. I ain't gonna say Arizona. Arizona's a gun state, but I'm not gonna say Arizona. What's another state? South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and I think Tennessee, Indiana, and I know Ohio. You get what I'm saying? Only states that keep that conservative stiff. This is what you got to keep, because remember, the main rights that they want to take away from you is your gun rights. They're not gonna do that in Texas. It won't work. We gotta go to war for it. But liberal states, but stay your ass away from them. If you claim to be a national, you follow this information, and you walking around, you in DC, what? You better get up out of DC and come back down to the original United States of America, and at least politically be in the correct place in case anything break off, a war, any damn thing can break off. You want to make sure that you're in the right place. You want to make sure that you're in the right place, family. And so that would explain the people that everyone say sovereign citizen. No, they are not sovereign citizens. These are Americans who fight for their constitutional rights that's been infringed by the federal United States. Has nothing to do with claiming to be from another country. Because not one time have you pulled a sovereign citizen over, he say, I'm a citizen of China. I'm a citizen of Russia. I'm a citizen of this. I'm a citizen of that. They say I'm from the United States of America, in which, in fact, it is a republic. So by saying United States of America Republic is not saying that that's just the actual location. That's your political stance. I live in the United States of America Republic, because you are in a republic, right? Ain't this what the Constitution is brought up? But this is what happens when your country is ran by liberals, and now your freedom is gone. But you ain't got to worry about that when you're in the right state, when you're in the great state, when you're in the great state of Texas. You ain't got to worry about that. You ain't got to worry about your rights going nowhere. Yeah, you ain't got to worry about your rights going anywhere. Your rights going to remain the same. It's going to stay exactly where it's at. Your rights is going to remain exactly where it's at. And it's still a battle. But our first thing we battling for is our rights to bear arms. And that is one of the most important rights that you can have. Because anytime, remember, in the preambles it said this, anytime that the government abuse their authority and power and they not upholding the laws of the Constitution, it is the citizen right to bear arms to overthrow the government, just in case anytime the government abuses powers. Read the fucking preamble. That's to the United States of America. So are we still sovereign citizens? No. You got to read that. So you read the preamble, it says that when the government abuses its power, it's up to the citizens to bear arms and overthrow that same government. Because if you don't overthrow the government and they constantly abusing their powers and they constantly implementing and stuff like that and they abusing their powers, what you think gonna happen? What you think gonna happen when the government abuse their powers? What you think gonna happen when all of our gun rights going away? So that's what people stand on, because remember, the supremacy clause to the Constitution says this: any law, any state or federal laws that conflicts with the United States Constitution, consider it to be null and void. A federal judge out of Mississippi already filed in the case of United States of America versus Bullock. They stated on that, they said that that being a felon in possession of a firearm was actually considered to be unconstitutional. And under those grounds, the case versus Bullock versus the United States, the judge dismissed those cases. You get what I'm saying? So in many factors, we fighting for it. And remind you, that's a district court in the South. So the chief judge who was over that case, who handled that case, was not a liberal. He was a conservative. He was a gun rights activist. He was a Second Amendment activist. But he was in the right state to do it, Mississippi. But if you're in a liberal state and you claim to be this, your grounds is not, you're not in the right place to even believe what you believe. Because you're in a democratic state. Now, I'm not saying that a lot of people in democratic state don't have conservative minds. I'm not saying that. But by being in a democratic state, the majority of the opinion is liberal. You get what I'm saying? Because remember, it's all about opinions. So if your opinion is liberal, then this country gonna be liberal. That's why they constantly trying to reinterpret it. Oh, the Constitution said if you in a militia, you got the right to bear arms. No, anybody has the right to bear arms. Why are so many different factors coming into this? That's because they want to take away your rights. Because if we got the right to take away your rights, it would be easier. It's easier to take over. But they only can do it in northern states. That ain't gonna work down here. It'll work up there. It ain't gonna work down here. It's not gonna work in the Texas. Damn. Like I'm gonna tell y'all, when y'all dealing with real republic states, I'm gonna put the 5 states that you're not taking their gun rights. Number 1, we're gonna say Texas. You gotta put Texas. You gotta say Texas. Number 2, gotta go with Mississippi. Mississippi, damn near over Texas, but I'm gonna put Mississippi. 3rd, you got Alabama. 4th, you got Tennessee. The 5th one, man, it's gonna be hard. Louisiana. I won't say Florida, because Florida got taken over by liberals. Even though the government and the governor and all out there, they conservative, that's good. But Florida's damn near finna turn to democracy in a minute. They trying to take them all the way out. Colorado's a democratic state, like population-wise. You want to say Denver, Colorado, Democrat. But every other part of Colorado, yeah, you do got a republic. It's a strong republic state. That's just, it's just like that, family. Yeah, man, we gotta, we gotta fight for it. And so that would conclude everything, when people thought, oh, we sovereigns and we think we against the law, or we think we think we bigger than the law. We feel like the law don't apply to us. No, the statutes don't apply to us. Because most statutes are violations to your constitutional rights. That's what they're really talking about. That's what we arguing. We're not arguing the fact that a man should live within dignity. So if you hurt another man, you should go to jail. That's common sense. But to infringe on the rights of others due to financial gain that the states is making off of us, it won't be accepted. It won't be accepted at all. Kentucky too. Kentucky is a republic. You live in the right state, you good. You better stay out of Louisville. Stay out of Louisville and you in a republic. Yep. I forgot to say Kentucky. Iowa, if and if, But, all right, family, if any of you guys want to contact me, if you want any course, if you want any process done, just hit me up. My phone number is 224-463-1848. Again, my phone number is 224-463-1848. All right, family. Peace and love to all y'all. Hope y'all took some information from this and gained from it. I'm out. Peace and love.